Today we're going to be installing carbon fiber add-on diffusers on a C7 Corvette. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Scott, and today we are going to be installing these add-on carbon fiber diffusers on this C7 Corvette. Now, these diffusers are a lot more aggressive than the other ones that you've seen me install, and the other ones are just typically a few bolts that holds on the two fins on each side. This whole assembly is actually just one big unit, and you have to either take this lower bumper assembly off, or you can just simply take the whole rear bumper off. And because we were doing some add-on lighting in here and on the side markers, I just chose to pull the bumper off. So you're gonna be able to see how that is done on how we did everything from the back side. So you're gonna get a bird's eye view of what we did and the way it's done to install it. I did not film the actual takeoff of the bumper, but I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put a link up to that in a card on the top of the screen when we get to that point. You can go back and look at one of my other videos. I've done so many filming of the taking off and on the bumper, I just didn't want to bore you with that. So once you get this all figured out and get it dialed in, it's really not that hard. I will say that I wished they would have came with a template, but really after you see what we do, you'll understand how to put them on, and it's not going to be that hard. Okay, so anyway, we're going to go ahead and we're going to jump into the video now, and we'll see you on the other side. Alright guys, so we are under the car right now, and this is really going to be a two-person job. Okay, John's got the diffuser itself here. And what we're going to do is, since we don't have a template, they're not included, you've got two screws right here, and this is what we started on the other side actually, and we figured out exactly what we're going to do, but we're going to try to give you now a close-up view of what you need to do from start to finish. So basically what you're going to have to do, these two bottom 8mm screws, or 7mm screws I say, they have to come out. Now, the one on this side is not going to be used anymore. We're just going to only be using this one. Now, there's two screws, there's two holes in the diffuser itself, and you're not going to be using this one, or that one is not going to go into this hole. We'll probably end up being able to use a screw underneath here just to go through the fascia, just to hold it for support, but it's not going into the car itself. Whereas this one here, it's actually going to be reutilizing this one hole. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to set that up there, and we'll explain what we're doing. So we're going to take that, we're going to put it right up here like so, and we're going to put it into this screw hole. Now, carbon fiber is strong, but this thing weighs a lot, so you don't want to just let it go. This is why you need two people. Okay, so now at that point, hopefully you can see this. You're going to see right here along this way that there is a definite bend right here, a curve on the bumper. It's the same thing on that side also. So what you want to do is you're going to get this right in its happy spot. Both sides will have that exactly, and you'll feel that it's right where it needs to be. Okay, so now at this point what we're going to do is we're going to take this one back off, and we're going to go back over to the other side where we've already taped it, and we'll show you exactly what you need to do on the other side to make sure that you're going to be able to get the proper fit. Okay, so I'm just going to take this one loose here really quick. Alright, so we can set that one down. We don't want to break it. Alright, I'm going to move the camera over now.
Alright, now we moved over to this side, so we're going to pull these two screws. Now remember, we're not going to use this outboard screw. This inboard screw is structural. It goes through to a support brace. So this one is important, that one is not. And that one's going to be in the way. We'll reutilize this screw. So Scott's taking these out real quick. What we wanted to show you with this tape is once we put this one structural screw back in and set this up here, it's got to find its happy spot. And you'll know that when you put it up here, you'll find its happy spot. You're going to need to mark it so that it's straight across. It's not going to be exactly horizontal. It'll have a downward slope just a little bit. But if you find the spot where it fits, which this is where it fits, you can mark it with tape like we've done. And that way, when you bring it down, you're going to need to mark the two holes that are on the inside. And we use the dielectric grease. So when we stick it back against the body, the grease will actually mark where the holes are going to be drilled. So you can see we can drop it just a little, but you don't want to let it go too much. You'll break where the screw is going through. But
you can also see what we've done is we've put the tape here both on the body and on the part, and then we lined it up. So we predetermined it, and we put the black Sharpie on there. So this way we know exactly where it's going to go, and we know that this lines up in its happy spot, like John was saying. But the whole purpose behind this is that we need to make sure that we have this aligned, because we have to take this back down now that we know that it's aligned upright. And up inside here on both sides over here, let me see if I can get the camera over this way. There's like right in this area over here and right over in this area over here. We'll show you here in just a second. There's two holes that you're going to need to be able to rivet from the inside of the bumper into this piece. And so we have to make sure that we get those marked. And we're going to mark that with dielectric grease. He's going to put that on the holes. We'll set this back in place. We'll mark the holes with the grease, and then we'll pre-drill a small hole in the bumper on both sides before we take the bumper cover off. Now, some people like to take just the bottom part of this bumper off. I find that it's a little bit harder actually to pull this off than it is to just go ahead and pull the whole bumper off. So we're just going to pull the full bumper. Main reason behind that is that we are changing a bunch of lights on this car today, so we might as well just go ahead and open it up so you guys can see it that way, and it's much easier to get up into this part of the bumper. So anyway, that's what we're going to do. We're going to pull this off here. I'm going to put the camera back on the tripod so you can see it. We're just going to pull this down. He's going to put some grease on those spots. We'll set it back in place, mark them, and then that way we know exactly where to drill.
Well, we got our dielectric grease, and these are the two holes that we're going to need that will actually be drilled up here through the bumper. So we need to mark them, so we're going to use this as a way to mark our holes that we got to drill. So now we've got some grease on there. What we'll do is put this one bolt back in right here, and then we'll align our tape marks, and that will ensure that our grease is in the spot where it needs to be to mark our drill holes. That's good enough. Alright, so before you touch the body with this panel, make sure you got all your alignment marks on, and touch the grease to the bumper, and then pull it back down, and we should have our marks. Pull that bolt out for us. And there you go. You can see where the grease is, so we know that's where our drill marks are. Like I said, we're going to drill really small. That way, if we do need to adjust a little bit, we won't be off by but just a fraction.
So at that point, we can go right here in the dead center of the grease. And we're going to drill a little hole. Just like that. Look at that. You know? Right here. So now at this point, guys, we've got our holes pre-drilled, very small, and everything's gonna line up the way we need it to. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna lower the car down, and we're gonna go ahead and pull the bumper off, and then that way we can go ahead and get those rivets in and get it nice and secure. Okay, so we'll be back once we get the bumper off. I've showed you guys a million times how to take the bumper off. So I mean, I don't know, John. Should we show them how to do that, or should we? Yeah, I don't know. I think we'll just come back to it, and you can watch one of my other videos to see how to take the bumper off. Okay.
Alright, so we're going to put this diffuser up here. We're going to use a little tapered punch to line our hole up right here. That way we know it's set in place on the lower end. So you can see our two holes that we drilled on the outside of the bumper. They're too small to see through, so we're going to use this little drill and drill them out just a little bit bigger. But it is undersized for the size of bolt. But we want to be able to look through it and make sure that our screw will line up to the threaded hole. So we'll do that real quick. Okay. Okay, now we can see if our holes line up where they're supposed to be. Look at there. I can see it. You see it right there?
Let's see if I can get in there. I don't know if I can see it. I don't know if the camera can pick it up, but I'm hoping so. But yeah, you can perfectly
right there.
Perfectly see it.
All
yeah.
Right, so we know we're lined up. So we'll go ahead and put the correct size drill on, and then we'll screw her down. Okay, we got our oversized bit here. We're going to drill these a little bit bigger. Alright, now we should be able to bolt this right up. Look at that, I see them holes perfectly.
Alright. I'm gonna get you. This is fun to do, guys. Holding the camera, getting the screws all ready to go.
Holding apart. Alright, that is one.
And John, show them the length of the screw there. It's probably maybe about an inch long, 3/4 of an inch, probably.
Three quarters
yeah.
at the most.
Don't go any longer than that, guys. Otherwise, it'll try to protrude to the outside of the diffuser. Yeah. You notice we put a washer, even though we had a bigger head on that screw. We just put a washer on it just to make darn sure that it would have a little more meat there, so it's not going to tear free. And then what's going to happen here? We're going to go ahead and tighten those up. So originally in the beginning of the video, I think I mentioned that we were going to have to rivet these. After we cleared all of the debris out of the holes, we found that they were already pre-threaded. So that was nice to know. So we didn't have to end up riveting them. Now, if you notice up here where John has got the dowel in there, the metal punch, to keep that lined up. Remember we were talking about this other screw right here that we aren't going to be able to use for the body, but it has another screw. It's right in this area here. We've got another screw that we're just going to go ahead and we're going to screw it to the body itself, or to the bumper itself. And I'm holding the camera and giving John the tools. This is like I said, yeah, it's definitely a multitasking situation here. Let me see if I can swing back around here. And maybe we can get that. So you remember that one screw we were talking about? We're just going to go right through the bumper right there. Okay. So now when we go to put it all back together, we'll just run the screw back up into where that metal bracket is, and this will be nice and secure. Okay. So that right there is all there is to mounting them. And now you'll just have to put the bumper back on. So we'll come back to you after we get the bumper on, and this way you can see what it looks like, okay?
So guys, hopefully this video was helpful and informative, and when you get ready to put your diffusers on your car, you'll know exactly where to get them. Go to Extreme Online Store, they'll be able to get you set up. Like I said, they've got the carbon flash, they've got carbon fiber, as well as the ready to paint version. So if you're going to do a custom color or something like that, you can get it done that way also. They not only have this, but they have expanded all of their stuff as far as Corvette and Camaro and a lot of other cars actually too. And so if you're in need of just about any cosmetic part for these cars now, they've got them. So go check it out. These things, I just want to tell you, these fit like a glove. Now, the only thing I wanted to say is that yes, it probably should have had a template, but just make sure you have 2 people and do everything we did in the video, and you'll come out just perfect. So anyway, I think it's a great product. They look great, and they're very good and solid. And so I think if you're in the market for that, you're going to really like it. So anyway, guys, thank you again for watching. I know it's been a while since I've been doing some videos under the circumstances with my daughter, but I'm trying to keep things going and get this stuff out to you. So I just want to thank you all for watching and all the kind words and everything that you guys have sent and donations you've sent for my daughter. I also want to ask you guys one other thing, and I ask this almost every video, is if you have not already subscribed to this channel, please hit subscribe. I know that you guys are watching, statistics show that you guys are watching the videos, but you're not subscribing, and that helps me a lot with the vendors and all of my sponsorship. So if you can please hit that subscribe button, that would be wonderful. So anyway, guys, enough of that. Just want to thank you guys all for watching again, and we'll catch you on the next one, okay?